Obviously, with any domain strategy, you need a domain, but there are several things to consider before just going out and buying a domain. There are a lot of misnomers in SEO. However, what can be a misnomer in one search engine can be the gospel truth in another. This is certainly the case when it comes to deciding on whether you should have a keyword or a brand domain. You will hear or read much about the importance of having a keyword in your domain name. This is true if you're optimizing for Bing. Google, on the other hand, has tried to fight against the abuse of what is called in the SEO industry EMDs, or exact match domains. Back in the day, I could quickly rank in Google for the #1 position if I purchased that keyword as a domain and built a website for it. This is not so much the case today. However, this doesn't mean EMDs don't rank, but it does mean that they don't have the benefit that they once had in Google. With Google, it is all about brand. A brand domain to Google is a domain that is commonly known about. Bing, on the other hand, loves EMDs, and it is still possible to rank fairly easily with them. Yet, it also recognizes branded domains as well. Next to consider is whether you should use a generic top-level domain or GTLD. Currently, there are 19 GTLD extensions. The most popular and commonly used GTLDs are .com, .net, and .org, with .coms being the most desirable. However, there's a lot of debate on which domains perform better in the search engines. Historically, .orgs were proven to hold more weight in Google and .coms in Bing. Google has moved away from favoring domain extensions, but Bing still gives preference to .coms. You might also hear some chatter on the internet about staying away from other top-level domains like .info or .ly. Some believe that the search engines, Google in particular, won't rank these extensions. I personally don't buy into this belief. For example, at the time I created this module, if you typed in the keyword Survey Builder, you will see that www.instant.ly is #1 and surveybuilder.info is #2. So the question behind GTLDs is not whether or not the search engines like them, but rather if those who use the search engines will like them. You might have noticed on my intro slide that I use the domain search.cx. Some users may not click on my domain when they come across it in the search engines because they might think I am located in the Christmas Islands, which .cx is the country extension for. So my recommendation is try to get a .com if you can, since there is proof that these domain extensions are more desirable with searchers. Yet if you can't secure the .com, then it doesn't really matter what GTLD you use. Alright, that was a lot of information for just 2 points. I will make the next 2 points short and sweet. Avoid domain names longer than 15 characters. Short domain names are easier to remember, easier to share, and have less of a chance of resulting in typos. Finally, avoid excessive hyphens in your domain. Google has stated that more than one hyphen can cause you trouble when trying to rank your website, and studies show that multiple hyphens diminish the perceived trust of a domain.